Hi Lena, welcome on board this session. The topic of this session is classification of aircraft. This is entitled to the subject flight mechanics. The target audience of this session are GATE aerospace aspirants, aerospace and aeronautical engineering students. We are following the GATE aerospace syllabus for flight mechanics, and in this session we will be focusing on the specific topic classification of aircraft. The previous lesson, we did know about the atmosphere properties and standard atmosphere. The link to the previous session will be provided on the right top corner as YouTube cards. Let's get an outline of this session. In this session, we will be knowing about the definition of aircraft, the method of classification, and next we will be moving on to classifying it based on its general category, and we will also be classifying based on other methods of classification. Let's start. Before classifying aircraft or knowing about aircraft classification, we need to know what is an aircraft. Aircraft is a vehicle which is capable of flight by obtaining support from air. So, aircraft operates within the atmosphere, and here are the typical examples of aircraft. So, it includes airplanes, helicopters, airships, gliders, and hot air balloons. We have been controversially using airplane and aircraft, but it is a wrong terminology as airplane is a subcategory of aircraft. Aircraft, anything which flies in air, such as man-made, it may be powered or non-powered, it can be categorized under aircraft. Airplanes are specifically the fixed-wing aircraft, so we cannot use the airplane term as a substitute for aircraft. So here are the typical methods of classification, and the aircrafts are normally classified based on this method. So there are about 9 methods of classification listed over here. Aircrafts can either be classified based on its lift generation technique, based on the propulsion system it uses, the Mach number it operates, the purpose of the aircraft, the maximum range of it, the method or mode of takeoff and landing, and the size and payload capacity of it, or the source, the power source which it uses to fly, and there are other methods of classification. Let's get to know about them individually. Now we are going to see a general classification chart over here. So based on the general method, aircraft, if considered to be a vehicle, can be classified based on its lift generation technique as lighter than air aircraft and heavier than air aircraft. So further, when we classify based on the propulsion system, it can be either non-power driven or power driven, and it is common for both the lighter than air and heavier than air aircraft case. So now when we further classify each of these categories, so non-power driven aircraft or lighter than air aircraft can have the free balloon or captive balloon. It can be either free balloon or captive balloon. Free balloon is nothing but the kind of weather balloons or hot air balloons which are being flown generally around for research purposes or recreational purposes, and these were used in the early days. Now it's just used for recreational purpose or some cases research purposes. This is also used for measuring the weather, and captive balloon is nothing but the free air balloon which is tethered by some connection to the ground. So next, when we further classify the power driven case of a lighter than an air aircraft, the airship can be classified under this category. Now let's get on to the heavier than air aircraft category. So non-power driven heavier than air aircraft can be either a glider or a kite. So glider is a typical aircraft which isn't having a propulsion system. That is, it is non-power driven. It doesn't have a propulsion source. It has to be taken to the particular altitude either by using another aircraft such as a tractor aircraft which takes it to the altitude, require altitude by pulling it, or it is also used. This is a common usage, such as strings are used uh, to recoil the aircraft to a particular altitude. Kites are the common things which we are able to see. So, then the part-driven case of heavier than air aircraft, it can be either airplanes or aeroplane, which is a British and American usage or pronunciation difference, and it can be either rotorcraft or ornithopter. Now, when we get into focusing on the power-driven case, and when we further classify these three subcategories of power-driven case of heavier than air aircraft, the airplanes or aeroplane can be further classified into three subdivisions, such as it can either be the land plane, seaplane, or an amphibian. Land planes are commonly seen aircrafts, such as the aircrafts which are taking off from the runways, uh, and they are basically land based. Seaplanes take off and land in water bodies, and it can be commonly seen in places such as the coastal areas. Amphibian aircraft have both the capabilities, that is, they can they are capable of taking off from a land-based airport or a runway, or they are also capable of taking off from a water body. They are able to do this by having a set of landing gear which is buried under the hull portion of the seaplane. It just retracts if it needs to be taken off as a land plane configuration. Now, when we further classify rotorcraft, a rotorcraft can either be a gyroplane or a helicopter. The basic difference between these two are helicopter is totally powered, that is, the in helicopter, a vertical rotor, the main rotor blade, you can see that consider this as a helicopter. So, this is the main rotor, and it is going to have a tail rotor over here. So that main rotor is typically powered by an engine, and this provides the thrust, the lift, and further when it is tilted, it provides the thrust. The gyroplane configuration is such that generally a powered motor is provided in the vertical axis, such in the horizontal axis, such that the gyroplane is driven when the engine is started. So once it gains momentum, it further proceeds or advances, and this advancement causes the main rotor to rotate, and this generates lift. So the main rotor isn't powered in case of gyroplane. So when we get into the case of ornithopter, ornithopter is nothing but the replication of a common bird which we are seeing. So it is a biomimicking process. So it can also be a land-based ornithopter, sea-based, or amphibious ornithopter. Ornithopter, the main feature is that the aircraft gains lift by flapping its wings, similar mechanism such as of birds. So here is a comparison between the lighter than air aircraft and the heavier than air aircraft. Now let's first see about the lighter than air aircraft case. The lighter than air aircraft are generally kept afloat by gas, which is generally lighter than air. That is, the aircraft needs to be floating in air. So here we can see a airship, which was typically used for human transportation before the airplanes came into existence. So here this is a hot air balloon. So next point is that it is technically termed as aerostat, and they are used almost only for recreational and research purposes for now. This was due to an accident because the hydrogen came into reaction with the atmosphere, and there was a huge blast where the airship was totally burnt. And we can see that the typical examples of lighter than air aircraft are hot air balloons and airships. So this is an example of hot air balloon, and this is an example of airship. Now let's get into the heavier than air aircraft category. So they depend on two types of lift. It has to be either aerodynamic lift, such as the airplanes, which generate lift from their wings. So these are the aerodynamic surfaces, or a powered lift. So powered lift is in the case of helicopters. So the rotor is powered in order to provide lift. Technically, heavier than air aircraft are known as aerodynes. So they are commonly used for aviation means, that is, they are generally used kind of aircraft. So the common examples of heavier than air aircraft are aeroplane, helicopter, or ornithopter. Now let's get to classify each one of them based on each method of classification. Now, when we classify the aircraft based on the Mach number is nothing but the non-dimensionalized number which is used in the general practice for aviation. So it is commonly preferred in aviation as it is a non-dimensionalized number, and basically Mach number is nothing but the speed of the object, uh, the velocity or speed of the object by the speed of the sound in that particular medium. And generally in aviation, this medium is to be air. It is typically denoted as A. So based on the Mach number or speed in general terms, the aircraft can either be a subsonic aircraft when the Mach number is lesser than 1. So it can either be a transonic aircraft such as that the Mach number is approximately equal to 1, and it can either be a supersonic aircraft, that is the Mach number is greater than 1, and when the Mach exceeds 5, it is termed to be a hypersonic aircraft. Another thing to be noted is that this is in specific or accurate terminology, because the transonic aircraft, each organization uses their own terminology, and on common basis when we get into engineering point of it, so the transonic aircraft uh, will be lying between zero point 0.8 Mach to 1.2 Mach. So we need to be aware of it when we are going into classifications. So beyond this Machman, the flight is going to see some shock waves, and the flows in supersonic and hypersonic require uh, highly focused study, such as aerodynamic heating and so many more concepts. So now when we classify aircraft based on the types of engine it uses, it can either be a propeller-based aircraft or turboprop, turbofan, turbojet, or ramjet. So ramjet is typically beneficial or effective above Mach 3, and other kinds of aircrafts or engines are commonly seen around us. Turbojet was initially used, now they are replaced by turbofan engines. So turbofan is an advanced version of turbojet such that it provides the bypass ratio, and we will be seeing about these in particular in the proceeding lectures. And now we are getting a general perspective. So when we get into other classification, now we classify the aircraft based on its purpose. So based on the purpose of the aircraft can either be a passenger transport aircraft such as the Airbus A320 or a Boeing 747. So these are the manufacturers, and when we see from the aviation's perspective, we will see the or remember the carrier's name such as Indigo or SpiceJet. So the next classification or the next class is either the business jets. So these are typically 10 to 15 seater aircrafts which are used for charter purpose in order to carry or transport commute a small community of passengers. The next class is a cargo transport. So this is one of the most commonly used and the least known, because cargo transport is particularly used for transporting the military based cargo or general cargo such as the public cargo, the goods, and such kind of services, mails, and etc. There are cargo planes such as you would be knowing about the carrier named DHL or similar kind of aircraft. So DHL is a delivery partner. You might be knowing about it. And most of the airlines operate a cargo service separate from the commercial passenger services. So the next class is the experimental aircraft. So this is going to be the one of the modern version of whatever class it is going to be. So every aircraft will be having a payload, not a payload. a prototype. So these kind of prototypes are experimental aircrafts, or in some cases, such as HAL, uses one of the version of the aircraft to test its systems. So whenever there is a new system coming by, they will use these experimental aircrafts to test those systems. So the next class is the trainer class. So trainer aircrafts are used to train the pilots, such as the pilots or cadets applying for the commercial pilot license or military license, so and so forth. Now, this is a specific purpose or specific class of the aircraft, such as the military aircraft. So they are exempted from the DGCA rules, and they have a new set of rules set by the particular military force, such as in Indian Army, Indian Air Force, so on and so forth. Now, under military aircrafts, there are four different classes. The aircraft can either be a fighter jet, or a bomber, or a medical or rescue aircraft. So, spy and reconnaissance aircraft such as B-12, B-22, or such as SR-71, and there are many kind of spy and reconnaissance aircraft. So these are usually secretive in nature, and mostly they are known once they are decommissioned. So all the names which I suggested, such as SR-71 and others, are probably decommissioned. So the next class is the agriculture aircraft. This is kind of aircrafts are used in agriculture lands in order to spray the fertilizers and some kind of crop management activities. And these are used when huge volume of crops or so many acres of land has to be managed. So this is a trending topic right now. So the final class is the sports aircraft. So under sports aircraft, it can either be a glider or a recreational aircraft or a man-powered aircraft. So now when we classify the aircraft based on the size and payload capacity, it can either be a micro airplane or a singular double-seater airplane. It can also be a medium-sized airplane. So typically here we are classifying the size and payload based on the capacity, such as if it is able to carry about 50 passengers, so it is termed as a medium-sized airplane. For example of a medium-sized airplane or ATR kind of aircraft which are being operated for domestic or regional purposes. So most of the airplanes have these three different categories of aircraft or classes of aircraft operating within them their regime. So large airplanes are airplanes which are able to carry about 400 passengers, such as Airbus A380. So cargo planes, as I explained before, they are used to transport the cargo. So further, when we classify the aircraft based on the source of power it uses, it can either be oil based, such as oil based under the oil based power, the jet fuel and kerosene powered agriculture aircraft and all such kind of fuel powered aircraft can be categorized under these oil based power source. So it can be either solar powered aircraft. This is a current research topic, but still there are prototypes, and there is a live model which is traveling around the globe, with just being powered by solar. The general down point of it is that it doesn't have the speed of the aircrafts such as those of oil powered aircrafts. So we had to look into the future to see these solar power aircraft to be a most common one. So the next option is the electric powered aircraft. The way these electric powered aircraft differ from the solar aircraft is that they store these electric charges within the batteries, and they carry these batteries during the flight, and this helps to power them. In case of solar power, it is lively being charged. So this is the basic difference. And the aircraft can also be a nuclear power aircraft. Nuclear power aircraft are rare to be found, and prototypes and research is currently going on to develop such kind of aircrafts. And there were a few news about these in the past. Still, it is a research topic. Now, when we classify the aircraft based on the number of wings, it can either be a monoplane, such as it has one wing. So, mono means one, and it can be a biplane, so it has two wings. So here, this is a typical example of monoplane, and this is a typical example of biplane. Biplanes were common in World War II or before the World War II case. After that, the biplanes were totally reduced. And when we classify the aircraft based on its range, it can either be of short range, that is, its range is within 500 kilometers, or it can be of medium range, that is, it flies within 3000 kilometer, or it can be of long range, it flies greater than 3000 kilometer. Before getting off of it, we need to know what is a range. So range is nothing but the maximum distance an aircraft can travel with a single load of fuel. So once an aircraft is loaded with fuel or filled with the fuel, the maximum distance it can travel without refueling is termed as range. So now when we classify aircraft based on the mode of takeoff and landing, it can either be a normal takeoff and landing aircraft, such as the passenger planes which take off from the runway. So it can also be a VTOL. VTOL stands for vertical takeoff and landing, such as the helicopters, or a short takeoff and landing, such as the fighter jets. So the fighter jets take off within a very shorter distance of the runway. So the next class is the STOVL, which stands for short takeoff and vertical landing aircraft. So the typical example for STOVL class is the F-35 fighter jet of US Air Force, which can take off with shorter distance of the runway by using the afterburners, and they have a vertical thruster or an engine placed vertically so that they can achieve this vertical landing. They Now we get into the special category or special method of classification. So based on the special method of classification, so under this category, the helicopters, ornithopter, is also known as the flapping wing aircraft, flying wing aircraft, and stealth aircraft can be categorized. Helicopter, this is a typical example of helicopter, and we have discussed about this previously. And ornithopters are aircraft which are able to fly with using a similar mechanism of that of bird, and this is a biomimicking. And there are small drones which are able to achieve lift or flight by using this technique. And flying wing aircraft is aircraft which has a blended fuselage, that is, the fuselage and wing are blended into one typical structure. So this is a typical three-view diagram of flying wing aircraft. And one thing to be noted is that in flying wing aircraft, the tail portion of it may be missing in most of the design, as it doesn't need it. And the particular role of tail is replaced by using the ailerons. uh, so stealth aircraft is the category of aircraft when we use kind of materials, or we reduce the radar cross section. So these aircrafts are used for military based purposes, such as spy and reconnaissance, where the enemy yeah, should not be knowing about the presence of these aircraft. So they typically use the materials such as carbon fiber and some kind of special materials which reflects the radar. And they also work on reducing the radar cross section and heat signature, and it is a particular and deep topic to be called. So we have reached the summary of this session, and we did know about the general classification of aircraft, and we also discussed about the other methods of classification. Let's crack gate aerospace engineering. Thank you.